you. I'm in a bit of a situation here. Locked in. And I'm not alone. What should we do? How do we get out of this room?
Mireille Azali Prud'homme. Dissection of a precal.
Some doors in Metamorphosis require voice recognition data to open.
You have to go. This goes way beyond you.
Reception 93, caller malfunction shows Mireille Prud'homme.
Stay here. I'll come back for you. Welcome to my domain. Care to purchase new abilities by press back through walls. Lure press rack away from the trolls. Monitor press rack patrol routes. Sorry to see you go.
I'll hold on to this.
Hello. It's Cooper. Good job getting the girl out of immediate danger. You seem to have a solid handle on things. With the arrival approaching, we're being watched more closely than ever, and so I have to pretend to work. However, I'm installing a help desk in your OmniView display. Select the help desk icon if you need my expertise along the way. Good luck tonight. No doubt, the girl would be doomed without you.
Thanks for getting me out of there. I don't know what that Brisrack's intentions were, but I'm glad we didn't stick around to find out. The luck. I'll hold on to this.
Signor Octavo joins Metamorphosis. Librarian is now preeminent manifesto scholar. I met the librarian this morning. He's a sweet man, with his heart sewn directly onto his adorable little lapel. And I do so admire his passion for literature. In a former life, I would swoon over a well-read man. But I hope for his sake, he learns to bury that part of himself. In here, following your passion is the shortest road to recalibration.
Y390H. I see you're admiring our latest installation.
Why do you keep these books away from us? I can handle them.
Maybe you're right. However, there are others in your class who are not as strong as you. And books like those can make them sick. Would it be fair to let you read them, but keep them from your friends?
That doesn't sound fair.
Well then, so are you saying you would prefer that they read them too? Will you have their illness on your conscience?
I don't want that either.
Of course not. I am not a filter for your ideas, child. I am your shield. There is so much ugliness in this world. Let me stand in the way of it. Let me stare it down. Your eyes are too pretty to witness such things.
I appreciate appreciate the compliment, Headmaster.
"390H. You must hurry along now. The rest of your class is already inside.
Why does he hold those books away from us, Senor Octavo?
It is the headmaster's belief that those books sully the minds of pre-cals and should therefore be removed from our curriculum.
But that isn't what you believe, is it?
Books like these do not paint a rosy picture of the world, but they are not meant to. They are not paintings of the world we want. They are mirrors, reflecting the world we have.
You're about to send the girl back through the part of the facility she just escaped from. There may be something for you back here, but I doubt there is anything of use to her.
NPR.
Taking this.
Mireille's liberal arts education is of little benefit in this crushing environment. I wonder if she would even recognize her former, idealistic self. The girl should be extra careful going forward. Looks like Mireille knows she has escaped from the brig.
What? What is this? Mon Dieu. Banning the children's access to such fundamental literature was not enough. Now he believes these books have been smuggled into the domes. Please let the headmaster know that I shall investigate this, despite his suspicions being not only unwarranted, but mildly insulting.
Madame, do you really want me to tell him that?
All but the last part.
Zager's poisoned manifestos. More fuel for the fire.
I don't know. A Zager cassette.
Something in those pages has Mireille quite upset. Zager's words sting like tear gas in the eyes of the establishment. Pages from the mini manifesto. Looks like they've been ripped out. Mireille would be wise to dispose of these more discreetly. A cell phone charger, worthless without the phone, but no less dangerous as contraband.
Situation is clear.
The library. It feels so quiet after hours. It used to be filled with books. The librarian's glasses. His office is up there, 3rd floor. We should go to him now.
Nothing.
I'll hold on to this.
Be careful. The Prizrak in this part of the facility are unpredictable in their rounds. You never know where they might turn up.
Welcome to my domain. Care to purchase new abilities via Prizrak patrol routes? Come back anytime.
Recording.
I'll check his pockets. I got something.
Rizrak checking in.
It seems this door requires Omni Level 2. You can upgrade your OmniView software at a demon server. I'm detecting a demon server near the Overseer's office. The nearest approach is from the museum.
It's the right thing to do. Librarian OK's decision to protect precals from literary rot.
The librarian's portrait has been taken down. I hope this is only a symbolic gesture.
What's yours is mine.
Sounds good. Nothing. Everything looks good. Everything looks good. Nothing to report.
I'm hiding. Let's go for the steal.
Everything looks
I
good.
got something. You found me a good spot. I'll hold on to this.
False prophet infiltrates Metamorphosis. Masquerading as Prizrak, man brings toxic agenda to our perfect garden. The man's name is Zager, I believe. Daniel Marcus Zager. Apparently he was some kind of journalist on the outside. If the overseer was smart, he'd label this as an act of supreme jealousy. After all, ours is a nation so wonderful that people risk death to sneak inside. Maybe we should take the initiative and lead with this angle.
To get into the headmaster's office upstairs, we will need his PIN code. I don't have it in my files, but we can recover it. We'll need to answer some security questions first.
The first draft rumbled from my mind and shook the page like a 9.0 earthquake. The pen was merely the needle on the seismograph, recording the shock waves.
I'll be taking this.
What was meant as a warning to Prizrak to be on the lookout for hiding precals is actually a good suggestion for the girl. Ducking behind the plant is a great way to escape detection. Remind the girl to walk slowly. Hurried footsteps will attract the attention of the Prizrak.
Zager...
Headmaster! Headmaster, over here!
If it isn't my favorite journalist from the Morning Bell.
It was a brilliant speech, Headmaster.
Why, thank you, Miss Sade.
Please, call me Maddie. Perhaps you could tell your citizens a bit more about the arrival. As much as you can state publicly, of course.
Of course, well, in a matter of weeks, we will take our bow on the global stage. The arrival is our world debut, and once it comes to pass, there will be little doubt that though we are a small nation and few in number, we are a force to be reckoned with.
I'm sorry, I had a follow-up, but I just got lost in the power of your voice.
Why, Maddie, please, you embarrass me.
Now, where was I? Oh, right. Your cryptic answers, which I adore, I must add.
Thank you.
But they've left some to speculate that the arrival refers to our ascension as a nuclear power.
Ah, nuclear power. In the 21st century, nuclear power is a contradiction in terms. Let those dying republics split atoms to their heart's content. No, my dear Maddie, what our République achieved is something far more impressive. And the mark we leave on the world will last an eternity.
Hello, librarian.
Good evening, Overseer.
Around the pre-cals, I must insist you address me as headmaster.
Oh, my apologies, sir.
What did you think of my lecture? You may speak freely.
Well, you most certainly have a passion for what you teach. It was most inspiring.
Your eyes and your words don't seem to align. Now, I asked that you speak freely. It's okay. No harm in speaking your mind to me. I will respect your honesty. In fact, I demand nothing less.
Well, then, sir, to be blunt, it felt more like a sermon than a lecture tonight.
Do you take issue with that? Again, speak freely.
Well, sir, I have never been a part of an academy quite like this one. The pre-cals, well, they seem to study only one subject here.
What subject is that?
Well, sir, you.
A cassette.
Situation is clear.
Let's see what he's got on him.
What have you got?
Nice. Okay, vent.
Check in.
There goes the screwdriver. A new taser.
I guess Zager didn't appreciate the owl gift. Holy 1990s. It's an old cardboard standee. Just a nostalgic keepsake from one of the Overseer's bookstore signings. I don't know where Zager found this life-sized embarrassment, but it appears he was using it for target practice.
That's more than I can carry.
Not to be outdone by the Overseer, our man Zager had printed his own first edition before his untimely death. Zager was busy designing his own manifesto. Sadly, overt fascism continues unchecked in many parts of the world. As a journalist, Zager covered atrocities like this one before he ever snuck inside Metamorphosis. These stories only further fueled his outrage.
NPR.
I'll check his pockets.
Place is quiet.
Going in to pick his pockets. Got it. All right. Good thinking. I hope they can't see me.
Frizz rack checking in.
I've been this way before. We're getting closer to the headmaster's office. I'll take this.
Why, librarian, you look like you've seen a ghost.
I see many ghosts on these walls. Why would you take pictures with monsters, and worse, display them proudly?
I have sat for pictures with many important people, even people I find disagreeable.
I suspect you mean me. How could you stand beside this man here?
Not a fan of the Generalissimo, are we?
I crossed an ocean to escape Franco's brutality, only to find his brand of fascism had been imported to Argentina.
Well, I can't speak to that, but I will say I found our meeting quite pleasant. He was an excellent conversationalist, and his taste in wine, impeccable.
Check in.
Let's go for the steal.
Clear.
I got something. I'll be taking this. An old Zager cassette.
No sign of the freak out.
We owe a debt of gratitude to those giants whose shoulders we've stood upon. The earlier they lived, the larger their stature, and so the greater our debt. The father of Europe was besieged from all sides by pagan tyranny. And then in the year 800, he did a most remarkable thing. He held the hands of secularism and religion and married them together in what would later be called the Renaissance.
A new statue lit up.
His detractors would call him an opportunist, and they would be right. But Yataro Iwasaki was given nothing less than the modest opportunity to bring an entire nation into the modern age, and he succeeded. The nerve of him.
Going in for the steal. Got it. It worked.
A personal favorite. For those who would criticize him for his monopolistic tendencies in the early 20th century, I say, shout it from the rooftops, or, barring that, hop online and voice your disdain in a chat forum. He would appreciate the irony.
What's next? A new statue lit up.
Plato's keen eyes peered further into the future than any of his Grecian contemporaries. He was, and will remain, the most vocal supporter of the classic Republic, and its earliest. While the 20s roared in America, they screamed like a Siberian windstorm in Vladimir's hometown of Simbirsk. Controversial man of the people, he was surely. And the fact that he spent time in political exile makes him that much more admirable, in my estimation.
The statue lit up. I think we did something right.
Her death in 1952 was a tragedy, not just for the Argentine shirtless who idolized her, but for the anti-Peronists who celebrated her demise. Christ had a similarly divided populace to contend with, and like Eva, succumbed to sacrifice at the age of 33.
What's next?
It is difficult to write a story as it unfolds, but to wait until it's finished is to risk butchering the telling of it. I would rather strain the wrists of those taking my dictation than cause even a modicum of butchering.
You've solved it. You're a natural at puzzles. Headmaster's office. I remember being here as a young girl. At least I think I was. Someone's coming. What do I do?
Unqualified disaster. And on the eve of the arrival, no less.
Everything is fine, sir.
Fine? You were assaulted by a Prizrak. And you let altered copies of the manifesto reach the children.
I have the situation under control.
I'm beginning to think your definition of control is different than mine. They don't respect you because you don't wear the uniform. It's a weakness. It puts you at risk. This is an historic night for us. There can be no room for error.
I understand.
Then you understand why Derringer will lead the arrival.
What?
I'm sorry, my dear. We all appreciate the fine work you do with the kids. But you lost sight of what's most important. Protecting me.
So, I can lead the arrival.
Murray, you speak the language of diplomacy. Derringer speaks the truth. Truth hurts. This isn't a dismissal. Derringer will still need your help when we get resettled.
Yes, sir. The mentor is an asset to our cause. I look forward to hearing her ideas going forward.
Watch your step.
She's weak. I hope that's all it is. Where was Murray when the Prizrak attacked her?
The section, outside the library. I'll look into it.
It's hard to know who to trust these days. It seems we're running a loyalty deficit around here. I don't mean you, Quinn, of course. I know I can trust you. Wait. I never forgot this before. Must be old age.
No chance, sir. You just got a lot on your mind tonight.
Quite so. Come, young man, let's get to the surface.
Master faces swift reprimand. Mireille Prideaux found with contraband. Overseer, none of us are above the law.
Librarian, may I come in?
Ah, Headmaster, welcome. Ay, Dios mío, who is this fierce creature?
It's an Ainu owl, librarian. My ancestors carved these from the amber trunks of Japanese spindle trees. I want you to have this one. Modest housewarming gift, nothing more.
Well, muchas gracias, señor. It's a handsome piece. I shall place it here on this shelf.
No. Lend it a bit more prominence. It's meant to be set out in the open.
Ah.
This way it can bring you luck.
Well, it's...
The eyes. Yes. They are a touch piercing. But that's the idea, you see. The owl is ever watchful. He will protect you day and night.
Ah, yes, well, it's truly, how can I put it?
Oh, you're welcome.
Gentlemen, I wish to resign. This is grossly inappropriate.
Inappropriate?
You are burning books. I have seen it with my own eyes. The books I procured for you.
Each book has been scanned into our servers and is now part of our digital catalog. You're merely hung up on nostalgia.
You are erasing history.
These books are my property now. I can do with them as I please.
No. I cannot be a party to this. I wish to leave immediately.
First you want to resign, now you want to leave?
I assume the implication was apparent.
You're not going anywhere.
You cannot keep me here against my will.
In fact, I can. You, like the books, are now property of the state. You will continue to fulfill your obligations to the pre-cals until I decide what to do with you.
I have a few suggestions, sir.
You just acquired a fingerprint from that glass. Normally, the overseer wouldn't be so careless as to leave a usable print. But recently, in celebration of Zager's capture, the big man poured himself a stiff drink, and for a moment, let his guard down. Those pristine white gloves came off, and he was one of us for a day.
Welcome back to Washington. How's the weather in your corner of the world? What if I tell you, are you going to try to guess my location? No, I've about given up on that. It's been insufferably hot in D.C. Then why are we meeting here? I'm sorry? Why not do this on the... The isn't built yet. What? I was told construction began a month after the attack. This is the U.S. government you're talking about. Maybe you've heard of us. Our contractors get paid twice as much to take twice as long. Unbelievable. Right this way, sir. Watch your step. Please, sit. Coffee.
I want a whistleblower.
Coffee?
I'm serious.
We can talk about that.
We're going to have to talk about that. If you want to hand the reins to someone who won't let the horse forget who's in charge.
I'm afraid I don't follow you.
That's your problem. You've got too many leaders and not enough followers. You should be following me. All of you should.
Okay, let's table that for a second. Say we get you a plant, and this plant blows his whistle in the year.
Or 2 months.
Or whenever. They're still not about to dismantle their entire surveillance infrastructure over some bad press.
I'm afraid you're right. This is where I need your help, Vice Admiral. If you get me on board and in command, then it won't matter how red their faces turn, or if they turn red at all. They won't have to privatize under pressure either. I'll already hold the reins. But we'll give it a name. Carnival. The Arrival. It doesn't matter. And we'll play act our way into the driver's seat.
I can't even imagine.
Leave imagination to me.
You now have what you need to access the librarian's office. I know the girl is anxious to find him. If the battery on the girl's phone runs low, she need only find her way to a confinement room. Ideally, she'll visit them on her own free will, and not with a Prizrak escort.
Situation is clear.
hope they can't see me here.
Clear. Check in. What do you got?
He's just up these stairs. Librarian! Librarian! Senor Octavo? Librarian! Oh no! This isn't real. You're making it up. Stop it. Stop it. Shh. It's okay.
Hola. Who's that? Senor Octavo.
I should watch this.
The girl activated a video that appears to have been recorded only moments ago. I presume it relates to the dead librarian. It's important that we determine what happened. However, she's not accustomed to witnessing violence. It's difficult to anticipate how it will affect her.
Senor Octavo. Just the man I want to see.
Hello, Derringer. To what do I owe this pleasure?
Good book.
It is a classic.
Not just a classic. I mean, it's actually good.
How can I help you?
Why does this guy, Edmond Dantes?
Dante.
Dante, right. Why does this guy tell Maximilian that his girl is dead?
For revenge.
No, Maximilian's his friend.
Yes, you are. You're right, of course.
Damn it, man. You have read this, haven't you?
Of course, yes. I meant it has been a while.
Why does Dantes put his friend through so much misery?
I think the point is to teach a lesson. You cannot know happiness unless you have been exposed to tragedy.
Can't know hope without despair.
I believe that is it, yes.
Kind of like the pre-cows. They don't know up from down, good from bad. They got no perspective because they don't have a clue about the outside. Or do they?
This is an intriguing intellectual exercise, Derringer, but it is late and
Why'd you give the kids the Poison Manifestos?
I did not.
What do you do in that hidden room downstairs?
What room?
Think we can't hear that god-awful music bleeding through the walls?
I just read and...
Reading Sega's trash.
I have seen it, yes, but I would never act on it.
Spying against us.
No.
You were planning to help the children escape.
No, Derringer,
Where the hell do you think you're going?
I can't watch this anymore.
I don't know if I agree with your decision to show the girl that horrifying video. Still, maybe it's best she knows the whole truth.
Senor Octavo?
Un momento. Buenos días.
You Senor Octavo?
Sí, I am Luis Octavo, yes.
My name's Quinn Derringer. My employer contacted you.
Yes, of course. The mystery man who pays me twice what I ask. Did he receive the books yet?
He did. And he thanks you. He'd like to thank you personally.
Of course. Tell him to come in at any time.
He's not in Buenos Aires. Is your passport in order?
My passport? What is this about?
My employer has some more work for you.
Mystery man? What sort of work?
That's the mystery.
Well, where would I go? Oh, impossible. I cannot close my shop.
My employer thinks you can. He'll pay whatever you ask.
He doesn't even know my price.
But he knows you have one. You got a number in your head, senor?
I do.
Good. Double it. Where's your passport at?
Oh, no. Wait a minute. How long will I be gone?
Just a few days. I promise.
This may come in handy.
Everything looks good.
A cassette. We're gonna get in trouble, Weep.
No, we're not. He would never turn us over to Mireille.
He might if he caught us smoking his cigarettes.
Don't drag on it so long.
How do you know about this stuff?
I read a book.
One of Senor Octavo's books?
No, it was the manifesto. He has a whole chapter dedicated to smoking.
You're making fun of me.
What the hell's up with that bird?
I've got my post secure.
What's yours is mine. Dear Senor Octavo, thank you so very much for giving me a copy of Labyrinths by Borgia. Each of the stories was fascinating. I especially enjoyed the one called The Library of Babel. It made me think of you, surrounded by all those books, overwhelmed with the infinite number of ideas they contain, and left wondering which books contain the truth and which are false. Is it true you knew Borgia and discussed literature with him? If so, I am positively envious. Thank you again for the stimulating read. Your friend, 390H. My pockets are full. But it's more than I can carry.
No sign of the girl.
There's a guard there. I don't think so. Thanks. You found me a good spot.
NTR.
I hope they can't see me here.
No sign of the pre-cal.
Make a wish. But don't tell me what it is, or it won't come true.
I wish the headmaster was dead.
Weep. Don't talk like that.
Zager said that someday the truth will rain down on this place and wash away all of the headmaster's lies.
I've never seen the rain before.
Zager wasn't talking about the rain. He was talking about the truth.
I don't care about the truth. I just want to know what rain feels like.
Zager's silence deafening. The notorious terrorist is quiet, scheming. The arrival is just weeks away, and public enemy number 1 has gone radio silent. If the headmaster, or overseer, or whatever name he goes by these days, plans to take a bow on the world stage, he can't have a phantom hiding in the wings ready to sabotage his big production. I shouldn't complain. It's going to be one hell of a show.
Clear. Nothing going. Everything looks good.
I'll take this. This must be a hidden room that Derringer mentioned. Some Metamorphosis secret room.
This is no mere piece of paper. It is an escape plan, a blueprint for a key, a master key, capable of unlocking any number of doors inside this facility. But that is not all. In the garden, there is a gate to the outside world, a gate to freedom. This key, I am told, will unlock that gate.
What's yours is mine.
But Senior Octavo...
Shh, un momento. Go ahead, 933W.
You can't stay here.
I'm too old to be tilting at windmills.
But you don't know what the headmaster is capable of.
Sadly, I know all too well. History abounds with men like the Overseer.
He will kill you, recalibrate you.
Were I 30 years younger, things would be different. I would hew to the line that Zager has drawn. But today, I am merely an old academic with failing eyesight. I doubt I can even see the line.
I'll come back for you. For all of you.
Why, 933W, I find your compassion extraordinary.
Call me Weep. I'm not a number anymore.
A blueprint of the Overseer's master key. The librarian suggested this key is required to escape from the facility. I know of a 3D printer located in archives. With this blueprint, the girl can manufacture a key.
I'll check his pockets.
Another quiet night.
I got some. Get your hands off me!
It burns! Check in. Bridge rack checking in.
Get that threat level up. Threat level is back to normal.
Let's see what he's got on it. Nice.
The overseer runs this library like a wild animal preserve. Look, but don't touch.
I'll be taking this. An old Zager cassette. yours is mine. I'll hold on to this. What a strange-looking machine. I wonder if this is what the blueprint's for. Is there a way to turn it back on? Now I think we need to configure the blueprint. This key's identical to the one the headmaster used in his office. Let's go there now.
The girl has the key. Let's get her to the surface. Head back to the overseer's office.
Rizrak checking in.
Derringer and the headmaster went this way to the surface.
There's an elevator on the other side of the atrium. It's probably the girl's best chance for getting to the surface.
It's been a long time since I allowed someone to speak to me this way, librarian.
I will not shy away from telling you what I see. You are the dark ruler of this world, Overseer.
This isn't a world, yet. Merely a small corner of it. And the darkness you perceive persists only because you refuse to open your eyes. Now, if you will excuse me, I must tend to more pressing matters in the terminus. You don't have access to this part of the complex, so I will bid you farewell. Unless... would you care to see what we've been working on?
Not in the least. It is unreal to me. If I cannot hold it in my hands and smell the history in its pages, it is not there. I don't know what you do, and I don't care. But I do know fascism when I see it. I am well versed in the struggles against it. And I know that you will ultimately fail, as all fascists have failed.
Watch your step.
I will not! You must know this. You're nearly as old as me, but still so naive in the ways of the world. Control is illusory, Overseer. Your network, whatever you call it, I call it a trap. It will not catch everyone. And the ones who slip through it will regroup and stand against you someday. You think because of your fancy computers and your expensive surveillance that you can succeed with those who rose to power in the 20th century failed? You are naive. Control is a lie.
Control is the linchpin of a safe society. We fall apart without it. Now, as you can't seem to control your own emotions, librarian, I'm confident you don't recognize a need for control in society. Good day, sir.
An elevator. It must lead to the way out. So many buttons. The ninth floor. The top. The surface. No, stop it. Can you do something here?
I've been looking for you.
No!
Down. Calm down, or I'll have to tase you.
Help! Help!
Citizens of Metamorphosis, words fail me tonight. I cannot rightfully describe the bleak, chasmal longing that echoes through my heart. Our beloved librarian, Senor Luis Octavo, has passed away. Derringer paid him a visit earlier this evening, hoping to discuss his exciting new role as cultural attaché. Instead, he found the Senor lying prone on his office floor, his heart failing. Ever valiant, Derringer sprang into action. He tried desperately to save the poor man. Sadly, it was too late. The librarian succumbed to the great unknown, cradled in Derringer's arms. But in a final act of appreciation, his words His last words, as he looked up at Derringer, were, "Thank you." As I'm sure has been reported, Senor Octavo and I did not always see eye to eye. Still, I made it a point to listen to his thoughtful and honest assessments of our fair République. He was especially critical of our prized surveillance infrastructure. I regret that I wasn't ever able to persuade him of its importance. I learned at an early age to never speak ill of the dead. I must hold my tongue now. But I will say this, for it pains me too greatly to keep it to myself. Had our security been more robust, Luis Octavo would still be alive. A camera is an asset to our superior way of life. But what use is a camera without a good pair of eyes to monitor the feed? Had someone seen the librarian collapse, they could have reached him in time. I am confident the arrival will help improve security in the future, and thus assure us greater safety going forward. Thank you for listening. And good night, librarian. We mourn your loss, but we celebrate your life with an equal passion.